Hey, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to make 3 different miso soup recipes. The first is a simple tofu and wakame miso soup. The second is a kabocha miso soup, one of my absolute favorites. And the third is a tonjiru, which is a pork miso soup. And this one is more unique and takes a bit more time, but is absolutely worth it. This one takes about 5 minutes, this one takes about 20, and then the last one takes around 2 hours to make. So let's get started. The key to a good miso soup is buying good miso paste. This is my favorite by Hikari Miso. It's a white miso and I buy it from my local Asian supermarket. There's quite a few different miso pastes out there, so it's a bit confusing. This one's the best one that I've tried. I think it's got a really rich and deep flavor. But of course, if you have a favorite, just use that one. And then the second key ingredient is dashi, which is a fish stock made with kombu, which is kelp, and katsuboshi, which is smoked dried fish. If you've ever made miso soup without this, that's why it doesn't taste like miso soup. I buy this one from Amazon. This is the one that I have used in Japan and it's my favorite. So first is a simple tofu and wakame. This is what wakame looks like before it's rehydrated, and you want to be careful because it really expands once it's rehydrated. A little goes a long way. And then the second and last ingredient is tofu. When I tell you this is simple, I really mean it. It's just 4 ingredients: dashi stock, tofu, seaweed, and miso paste. That's it. So here I am adding the tofu to the dashi stock, and then I'm going to bring this to a gentle simmer whilst I prepare the miso. So I'm going to take the miso paste and add it to a different container along with some of the hot dashi broth, and we're going to make this pourable mixture. This just makes sure that there's no lumps of miso in the soup because we don't want that, and we're going to add it in once the pot has come to a simmer. So we never want to boil miso because it changes the flavour to a more bitter one. So we add it in alongside the wakame right at the very end and leave it for a couple minutes to wait for the seaweeds to rehydrate, and that's it. Simple. So here you can see how much the seaweed has expanded. So buying a big bag really lasts ages. And what's great about this miso soup is you can add absolutely anything to it. I often make miso soup when I've got a few veggies lying around in the fridge that need eating up, which I add some noodles to, and then I have a quick, warm, comforting lunch. Next up we have the Kabocha Miso Soup. Technically this is a Crown Prince squash. I can't find kabocha in the UK outside of Halloween time, but I find that this squash has a really similar flavour and texture. The only difference is the skin. I find that in the miso soup anyways that the skin is really unpleasant to eat, and I'm usually team no peel, so it kind of breaks my heart, but I would recommend peeling the skin off. Once that's done, chop it up into evenly sized pieces and then add the kabocha into the pot along with some cold water. It's important that it's cold so that the kabocha will cook evenly, and then sprinkle in the dashi stock. These types of squash I think can overcook really easily. Once the pot comes to a simmer, I'll usually cook it for about 15 minutes and then check. Usually it'll need another 5 minutes, but I'll still try and check anyways. This is a miso strainer, and if you don't have one, just use the same method in the last soup. This is a really simple soup, but it is so satisfying. The chunks of squash have a really velvety texture and a nutty flavour. Also, it is just such a beautiful colour. I like to finish it off with some shichimi and then a few spring onions. I think it's the perfect remedy for a cold wintry day. Last but not least, we have my tonjiru, which is a pork miso soup. The secret ingredient is a load of onions, and I was completely inspired by a restaurant that I went to in Japan in Myoko Kogen, which is a small ski village. In Myoko City there was this tonjiru restaurant which had amazing reviews, and I had to go, so we drove there in the snow and it did not disappoint. When I went on their website, they said that most of the water content comes from the onions, which I think is such a clever idea. It adds a real natural sweetness and makes for a very unique miso soup. So the next ingredient is pork belly, and in Japan a lot of the pork is sliced very thinly, but that's very difficult to find in the UK, so I use this pork belly and chop it up into evenly sized pieces and then add it in once the onions have come to a simmer. From here I'll cook it for about 1.5 to 2 hours, or until the pork is soft and tender. In the meantime, I prepare the tofu. I use medium firm tofu. I think most tofu would work in this. I probably wouldn't use silken because that would just break apart, and I like to add this in 30 minutes before the soup has finished cooking. At this point I'll also sprinkle in some dashi and give it a nudge. I don't want to mix it too vigorously because the tofu will break apart. This is what the soup looks like once it's finished cooking. You can see the pork fat glistening in the soup, adding loads of flavour. And by now you'll know the drill. We add in the miso paste and we're done. I really love this recipe. One, for the memories, but two, I think it tastes so good. And when I gave it to my Japanese grandparents, they both loved it, and it was just such a special moment because I think my grandma is the best cook in the world. This tonjiru is a labour of love, but that's what makes it kind of special. You can absolutely add more veggies. Typically a tonjiru has way more veggies, but I keep it really simple. And that's the end of the video. I really believe in the power of miso soup. It can be quick, convenient, nourishing, and really flavourful. I don't think a lot of people know you can go past the tofu and wakame, but now you do, so I hope this video was useful, and I'll see you in the next video.